Hello everybody. So I'm looking at Bitcoin right now. I'm going to try to get into the habit of doing a Bitcoin technical analysis many times a week just to be consistent and develop some good habits of focus and awareness of the entire market. So yesterday I finished off. Okay, I do have to admit one thing. One of the main reasons I'm doing this is because sometimes I don't even look at Bitcoin. I hold Bitcoin long term and I'm mainly trading alts that are very volatile, right? And then one week I'm looking at Bitcoin and it's like, for example, it's like 52,000. And then another week I'm looking at Bitcoin, it's like 45,000. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I just think that knowing what Bitcoin does the majority of times can help you plan a lot of moves for alts as well. Because in some way they're directly correlated, and in some ways, not a lot of alts will not correlate with it as well, right? Sorry, not a lot of alts will also not correlate with it as well. So we left off yesterday with this right here. I want to first of all point this gigantic trend line out, okay? It made one, two, three touches. Now, I'm not really the biggest fan of trend lines, but in this particular case, it's obviously holding fairly true to it. So right now, we see Bitcoin trending in the channel. Okay, this channel has been pre-established for a very long time now. In fact, on multiple time frames, we can see it looking incredibly nice, especially on the 5-hour time frame, the 4-hour time frame, where we're getting a bounce here, 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 and we're also seeing this, that region, that region, that region. Okay, so why do I not take it directly at the top end there, like on wick to wick? I don't do that because I like to account for some bull trapped and bear trapped regions. That's really important to consider rather than going just from wick to wick. Okay, so we see right now the daily, it's bullishly diverging. Okay, it's bullishly diverging with lower lows. RSI does not take into consideration wicks. Okay, RSI is just the body for the open and the close. That's just how RSI works. So we're seeing lower low, right? But we're seeing here higher low, higher low. Okay, it's kind of reaching a small resistance here around the 39.40 range right now. But Bitcoin is incredibly low. Another thing we have to factor in is the MACD. Okay, the MACD is now going to be on the second day of it crossing over positively. Keep in mind that these are lagging indicators because it's using a moving average. Okay, it's using a moving average of I think 2012 and 26, the one I use. And we're finding that I'm out of breath because I was just like dancing quite a bit, learning how to shuffle dance just for fun, for exercise. It's a good way to keep active. If we take a look at some coins that have crossed over in the third day, 1, 2, 3, right? 3 crossovers, we're going up pretty hard, and then on the fourth one, we're coming down. So I'm finding this on a lot of different coins. So this is the first red day down, just to give you an example right here. We're seeing 1, 2, 3 upwards, and the fourth one, we're coming down. And it goes like this to pretty much every single coin that I can see right now. See, this one here, right? 1, 2, 3 up, and then this one down, like roughly around there, the second, third day. Those are just small examples. We're seeing a lot of coins right now that are trending to the top side, right? For example, CHR is trending to the top side. We see tons of coins that are looking like they're ready for a bounce, especially SHIB, which is one of my favorites. Okay, SHIB is just really stretched far thin right now. It looks like it wants to give it a go soon. But we see that if you zoom in really closely on the 12-hour, it tried to go up just yesterday morning, rejected, okay? So it means it got a little bit ways to go right now. I'm not interested in it quite yet, but it is reaching that region where we could get a significant bounce sometime soon. I also like ICP because ICP is really low on the RSI range right now, but the daily closed very bearishly, so I'm not really interested in this right now. Unless we can maintain, for example, 2-3 days in a row at the same support level, I'm going to be interested in it. I really like it because of the way that it's trending to the top side and also the way that it's very low on the RSI. So what I'm getting to without reviewing all of the alts is that on the third or the second or the third day up, when the MACD crosses on the daily, we tend to see a really large rally. And when you combine it with other factors like the higher low with the MACD, it seems like it wants to break out of this particular pattern and give it a whirl because we've already dropped down about 35%, 34% drop right here. So it's bound to retrace sometime soon to the top side, in my personal opinion. I think we're ready to drop to the upside there, okay? In fact, the way that I'm seeing this possibly, if I was forced to do an Elliot Wave count, okay? If I was forced to do one, this is probably how I would end up counting it. Somewhere in there is a 1, somewhere in there is a 2, somewhere in there is a 3, that's a 4, and this is making a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where it's very truncated because of that gigantic wick to the downside. We take our trend-based fib. Man, I was dancing so much, frick. Don't mind me, guys. I'm like just fat and out of breath. That's just how I am. I'm just choking. So we take right here. We see a huge wick down that goes well below to the 1-to-1, and that could be a very valid count. So if this were actually some count in here right now, where that's making a 1, like that's a wave, entire 5-wave structure coming to the downside, it's highly possible that we can get a huge rally of this entire structure going to the upside. So what would invalidate this, okay? What would invalidate this count of mine, and what would invalidate a bullish bias right now? What would invalidate it is a drop below these particular regions. I don't like to consider a hard support as so rigid in terms of this is the price, it cannot touch this price. I like to consider regions instead, or zones, where it's actually, this one here is considered in like a very small region because I'm accounting for there and there as well. Okay, so then this is like a 0.5% region. If we fall below it, then I might be gravely wrong in my analysis right now. Bitcoin's 2-day is actually pretty bullish. It closed just about 4 hours ago. It got a really nice bullish hammer candle. Unfortunately, it was red, but sometimes we can't control what hammer candle we get. A hammer candle signifies that within these 2 days that we've seen in this 2-day candle here, so it combines 2 1-day candles, we see that it opened right there, okay? It opened right there, and the bulls, I'm just going to put my cursor on the right side so I don't overlap the wick, okay? So, but focus on this, focus on that. I'm just using the same axis on this side. So it pushed to the upside right there, right, when it first opened. And then during those 2 days, what happened was the bulls pushed all the way down over here. And then what happened, the bulls originally pushed up. I'll start again, right over here. That's why it opens right there. The bulls push up, the bears push it all the way back down over here, okay, all the way back down over here. Okay, so we close at 45,400-ish, and then the bears end up retracing it a huge amount by 3% right there. So the bulls ended up defending it. That's how we get a hammer. What would be even better is if we get a hammer candle that's green. A hammer candle that's green usually implies that, let's just pretend that's green, that the open would be here, like on the lower side of the red, and then the bears push it down, and then the bulls end up pushing it back to the top side right there, and then goes up even further, up to right around there, and then the bears push it down. So this more so implies that the bulls have won the later half of the war, right? And they pushed a little bit further to the top side, making it green. So what we're getting right now, though, is we're getting a doji candle right now that's forming only 5 hours in. That's not really significant, though, okay? But so then on the daily, we got this huge shooting star type of candle, which is pretty significant. But if we break it down on a lower time frame, it kind of makes a little bit of sense here, okay? If I couldn't even tell you what this particular count is, nor will I even try to break it down, okay? It's a really complicated count right now, but right now from what I see, if I were to just take this and count that up to over there, and I do this, okay, and then I go upside there, what we're seeing is we're getting a huge reaction with the Fibonacci retracement range of the golden ratio. So for today and tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, I would like to see a bullish move to the upside, okay? Now that we've done this coming down, I would like to see a break to the upside. If we see a break to the upside, all those coins that I was referring to where the daily crossover was likely to happen, it could actually happen with a lot of force, and Bitcoin could likely carry all those coins and cross over that MACD to the positive side, which will allow us to ride these alts to a really good amount. We're talking like if you take a look at SHIB, it's one of my favorite structures. Okay, I really like SHIB a lot. Just because of how much it's smooth. Okay, it's smooth with some wicks, but not too many. And it fell down a gigantic amount already. It's almost close to support, somewhere there. So if Bitcoin ends up rallying, what we're gonna see is a huge crossover of the MACD, and then we're gonna get a really bullish run to the top side that can yield us a really gigantic return. So these are my quick thoughts for Bitcoin. I want to keep it around 10 minutes per video. And what I'll do is I'll try to update you about once a day. So once again, I'm bullish on Bitcoin still because I'm expecting for it to do that retracement that I mentioned to the top side now and attempt a rally. If it attempts a rally, a lot of these alts will follow it. The further that it declines, especially into this green region, which is about 2-3% away, the more unlikely a bullish run will occur. So I want to be very much so ready to anticipate a bull run for the alts if Bitcoin ends up rallying. That's why it's really important for me to be following these all the time as well now. And I got to keep focused on Bitcoin. So anyways, you guys have my bullish view and my bearish view as well. Have a great night. Bye now.